Hello, welcome to my channel. This will be my first video on this channel. My name's Kai. So yeah, I'm a software engineer, 3 years of experience building AI agents, backend systems, A2A AI agents, machine learning models, stuff like that. So what I'm making this video for is if you're looking for like an AI code editor, an ADE, agentic development environment, and you are on a tight budget, because I have tried Codex, I have tried Autoencoders, though I would say I didn't use them to their full potential. I just played around with it. But Codex, when I tried it on the free tier, didn't work for a long time, just like 3 prompts, and then I was out of usage. And since I was on the free plan, that means it resets in a month, which doesn't really make sense to me, you know what I mean? So yeah, I also tried Autoencoders. The models that come with the free tier are not that good for coding. They're not strong unless you're on like the Zen, you pay, or you add a local AI model. So yeah, so basically what I was building was Phenomenally. Phenomenally is a real-time transaction fraud detection system. So the idea behind it basically is to build a machine learning pipeline that flags suspicious transactions in real time. So it's a real-time financial anomaly detection system using Autoencoders and GNN, streaming ML pipeline with Kafka, PyTorch, and FastAPI and Redis. So what I did was I installed ZCode. So what I was able to do, you just open the project, load it through workspace, open workspace, load it in. What I did was I opened the project in ZCode and I also opened it in Cursor. So if you look right here, you can see that it can use like your Finder, Cursor, Terminal, basically any IDE you have, it can use that to be able to work. So if you have Warp, if you have Ghosty, any of that, so it can work here. I chose Cursor because I have it open in the background. So basically what I told it, and the only models, so let me walk you through it. The only models I have right now, because I'm on the free plan, I didn't pay for this, is GLM 5.2 and GLM 5 Turbo. I would say GLM 5.2 is a very good model actually. And there's a specific way to write its code, like you can know that it actually like does it properly, it does it well. So for heavier tasks, I go for GLM 5.2, probably on the max or high plan. And then for lower tasks, I use 5 Turbo with a thought level on. So you can see right here, 5 Turbo has a context window of 200K. So you can see that I've already used like 39%, roughly 30% of both 5.2 and 5 Turbo. And then the 5.2 has a context window of 1 million. 1 million actually. So context windows is basically like the working memory of an AI model. So it dictates how much text, image, or video the AI can actively read, reference, and remember at a single time. So how it works is that tokens are measured. Context is counted in tokens rather than words. A token is essentially a chunk of a word. So around, let's say, roughly 100 English words would roughly equal about 130 tokens. So a larger context window means that the AI can process enormous inputs, such as longer code bases, PDFs, and all that good stuff. So basically this means that it's actually a very good model. And when I've been working with it, I haven't even used up to a quarter of the context window, so that's actually good. So what I did was, I had my agents MD file, created that from ChatGPT. brought it here, and then created the agents MD file. I now reference it, so read agents MD. Then let's begin phase 1 MD implementation. So basically how I like setting up my structure of my project blueprint. The blueprint has the phases, so phase 1 to 6. These are the what the AI uses for reference for the coding tasks. So phase 1 was basically to build the environment and Docker perp. So basically what it was meant to create a Docker compose YML, Confluent, Kafka plus Zookeeper, but I went with Red Panda and then Redis. So then I also told it to write a Python script that uses my PaySim dataset. You can find the dataset right here. The dataset is right here. So it will now ask you to clean the data, use encoded categorical variables, create a requirements.txt with all the dependencies I need, and so it did that. It did basically that. So come back to ZCode. ZCode was the heavy lifter for this project, so it did that. And then the file tree, you can find the file tree right here. If you just hover on the project show files, you can see your file tree is also here. So phase 1, so you can see that, phase 2, and so on. So it worked for about 15 minutes, gave me what I needed, and then it asked questions. And then I originally wanted to use Zookeeper, Confluent, Kafka plus Zookeeper, but I finally went with Red Panda plus Redis. It gave me like an option to choose from, and I chose that. So right here, my network went out, so I had to continue from where I stopped. One thing that is something that I think should be a crucial feature that is not on here is like a retry button. So like if your network goes out, there's supposed to be like a retry button, like in Codex or like basically any AI coding environment, to be honest. So for phase 1, it also worked for 29 minutes and was able to give a plan. I was on the plan mode. So there's the ask before changes, edit automatically, plan mode, and full access mode. I was on the plan mode. I think I was on GLM 5.2 max. So git ignore, it created a whole plan of everything it needed to build. It wanted to build, then I gave it the go ahead. So you can see right here, it's worked on all the files I asked it to do. You can see, you can open that by the side there. So that's basically it. Oh, and by the way, this is not really an editor. This is more like you can copy and like send it to the chat. It's not for doing that. It's just to like copy and send it to the chat. So it did all that, worked on the requirements.txt, did everything, and yeah. So when I was done with the phase 1, I asked it to give me a commit message. So it did that. I told it not to commit for me, so it did that. Finished the phase 1, give me the commit message, and that's how I did it. Then on to the phase 2. I did phase 2, did phase 3 as well, and then it actually even caught a bug in my implementation. Okay, so now I want to implement phase 4 of anomaly. That's real-time Kafka streaming pipeline. So the objective is to build the real-time inference engine. So yeah, let's get to work. So let's say okay, read and analyze at. So use at to bring up the suggestions of files you have. Read at agents.md. Then begin at phase 4 implementation. So I'll just use, I already have this prompt right here, just use it. So I would probably start with, I'll probably use Turbo for now, just use Turbo. On Turbo's at 39%. This is edit automatically. Okay. So, and I think I forgot to mention, it even has an inbuilt terminal, so you can use the terminal right here. But I prefer to just use the cursor terminal. And then it can also work, branch by branch. It actually even created this branch by itself, like did that on its own, so that's good. Okay, so 2.5 turbo on. Okay, edit, and let us okay. So it has started working on the project. It's doing that, so it's going to think. It's not really in plan mode, so I don't think it should take long to actually do that. So okay, it has started working on agents.md. So I'm just going to use this as like a demo to show how it actually works, but my concern is I'm almost out of usage, and I'm trying to save 5.2 for something, a harder task, if you will. So yeah. I guess the hard tasks have already been done, mostly. So you can see it's reading some of the files. Yeah. Okay. So you see, it always asks for permission. I haven't yet found the way to make it work on its own. I think it might just be a minimal setup, but yeah, I think I do prefer when it asks me to do stuff. Okay, so it's trying to work with Docker. I actually use OrbStack. I heard it's a better version of Docker, and I just find it better, to be honest. Just prefer it to, wherever. I prefer it to Docker. It feels lightweight. Yeah, I haven't actually done like a side-by-side comparison with Docker to know which one is better, but yeah. Okay, so it wants to store red panda. Oh, oof, I'm down to 19% usage. Yeah, and one other thing is that ZCode actually, I don't know the particular numbers, but the usage goes back to 100% for both models quite quickly. Yeah, quite quickly. So it's not really. I find it quite gracious for the free tier, if you know what I mean. So the usage actually comes back quite quickly. I don't think it stays up to 24 hours. I was working with it and it didn't really stay up to 24 hours. So yeah. Okay, you can see we're already working with 33.9% of the context window, and it just went down like by 9% usage. So I think I might have to switch over to 5.2. I'm not sure. It's still working. So basically, what we're trying to do in this phase, that's phase 4, is real-time Kafka streaming. So it's going to consume from transactions, extract tabular features and pass them through a loaded autoencoder to get reconstruction error. So yeah, I believe I have basically like done most of the heavy lifting. These are just other stuff, because like if you look here, processed in process data, I already have my .pt file. So these are like the trained neural networks that hold like weights, stuff like that. I already have my pt files, the GNN model.pt, node embeddings.pt, the tests, train, splits, already done all that. So you can see my stats, like it also brought out like the stats for all the tests. Feature columns, graph stats, GNN metrics. So you can see all that. Yeah, you can see what I'm saying. If you right here, this is not really to type. It's not an editor. It's actually for like commenting and adding to the chat. You can see that right here. So yeah. So it's trying to fix something with red panda, I guess. Oh, today's free quota is used up. Oh my god. Let's switch over to 5.2 and let's go to no thinking, I believe. Yeah, no thinking, or just high. So yeah, so this is the issue. This is an issue. When it stops, like right now, my model wasn't able to continue. Right now, my model wasn't able to continue, and it just stopped. And there is no retry button. There is no reload button. So I guess I have to ask it to continue from where it stopped. I want to, okay, so I just guess I have to ask it to continue from where it stopped. But I mean, it's probably what the price you have to pay for not using a paid model or paid stuff. I don't know, I'm thinking it doesn't really need to think too much. So if we come over here, you can see settings. So you can see like your settings, ZAI. ZAI is the main provider. I'm on the coding plan. I didn't use an API key, but I haven't paid for anything. So see GLM 5.2, how much is remaining. GLM 5 Turbo is basically done. It says expires June 22nd. I don't really know what they mean, so I'll have to wait and find out. So you can add, other providers and stuff like that. Add models, change the context window to what you want. Yep. So this is like the general. This is the general. This is the code preview. Just some customization stuff, model settings, skills. So I think right now it's only these 3 skills that are here. Docs, PDF, skill creator. I do not understand Chinese, so I don't know what is being said there. MCP servers, plugins. Okay, we have quite some plugins. Android emulator, iOS emulator, superpowers, stuff like that. Commands, indexing. Then usage. So you can actually see my usage. 8.3 million token usage over 2 sessions, 17 messages, 2 active days, 2 streaks. My favorite model is 5.2. Yeah, because it's smarter. So you can see like my usage of both models yesterday and today. It's currently like 19th of June. So you can see that it's actually very nice stuff. Sorry. So it actually works properly. So this is already at 27. 5.2 is already at 27. I think it might be a stretch, but I believe I should be able to use this remaining usage and actually run phase 5, I think. Docker compose. So basically, if I had asked it to give me a plan in plan mode, it would have actually like come up with a plan, a very detailed plan. But coming up with a plan also means it's using quite a lot of tokens. So yeah. Okay, so you see topics created and Redis response. Now push to GNN embeddings to Redis. This is the prerequisite for the consumer's graph lookup. This will take a few minutes for 9 million keys. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So it's while Redis runs in the background, let me write the producer and consumer in parallel. So I believe my Kafka, Red Panda, everything works fine right now. Okay. It wants to test this, check the test meta schema. All right. GLM 5.2 has 27% of today's free plan quota remaining. upgrade for steadier capacity, and I'm almost out of tokens. Wow. Yeah, but that's basically how it works. So yeah, and right here you have your, the plan. If it had a plan, it was following a plan. This is how it is. This is the plan. You can bring it down, collapse it, increase it. You can see like changes made, the dev branch. You can commit. You can actually commit through here. So that's actually nice. Let us see if it can clutch and use 11% of the usage and actually finish. I do not know if it can do it. It's already on here. It's already on this progress plan. So I believe it's already done with pushing the GNN embeddings to Redis. Let's see. Okay. Oof. Yeah, that's actually a stretch. That's a stretch. It's a stretch. Damn. That's actually a stretch. It's already at 3%, so I would have to wait for. Okay, you can see it just added 2 new files. Let's see. This is the phase 4 Kafka producer. So yeah, that's basically it for the video. I'm out of usage for both models, so that's actually crazy. But I believe in a few hours it will come back. But based on what I'm seeing here, that it said I've already used 9.1 million tokens. Based on what I'm seeing it say here, I don't know if this free plan reset would expire June 22nd. I will monitor it and give an update concerning this. I'm not sure, I don't know. But I think so. I think it might stop. When you use 5.2 through coding plan, quota consumption is converted to a 0.67 coefficient. The campaign period, peak hours. Interesting. So we can also check. So that's basically, it was almost done. To be fair, it was almost done, and I have already used. Okay, you can see it's actually like checked that I had already used a lot of my usage on something else, so that's basically it. So we'll just do a little time skip from right now, and I want to calculate how many hours it will take for my usage to come back, and then we'll continue.
2 hours later.
Okay, so it's been a minute. Now it's 9:42 p.m. So to be fair, I was actually keeping track of the reset time, but I have my 2 models back. I did see my models come back like earlier, like an hour before now, around 8 o'clock. So yeah, that's that. So we'll just continue from where it stopped. Again, there's no like retry button or continue button, so I'll just use 5.2 on high for now to complete the tasks. So continue from where we stopped. So yeah, so I'll see you guys when this is done.
3 hours later.
Okay, so fast forward, phase 4 is done. Phase 4 is done. Infrastructure, Red Panda, Redis, everything is working, it's streaming, it's going well, it's verified end to end, 5,000 TX tests, you know what I mean? So, yeah, with the commit message. So, phase 4 is done. So, that's good. So, basically, I would switch back to Turbo because phase 5 and phase 6 is not really anything heavy. It's just to phase 5 is to expose endpoints to be able to interact with it, and then phase 6 is to like write the readme and all that up. So, and I don't think I showed this, but on OrbStack you can see the phenomenally container, red panda console and Redis. They're all running, they're all live and running, so you can see them, you can see the images running. So yeah, so back to ZCode 5 turbo on. Okay, so it's to tell it to work on phase 5. So let's do this. Oh, sorry. Read and analyze. Phase 5 implementation. Okay, so phase 5. Okay, then of course, as I always do at the end of all my prompts, I always tell it to generate a standard commit message, but to not commit for me, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I believe that is it, and we are good to go. So I'm basically done with phase 5, but there's an issue that ZCode has, which I've been experiencing. I thought it was just a one-off stuff, but if I switch models midway, it cuts off the entire conversation history. I do not know why. With the commit message it's supposed to give me, it just like cuts it off. I don't know. I don't know why it does that. Like right here, there's nothing again. I think I'll just ask it to give me like the overview and the commit message again, and let's see what happens, because I don't know what's going on. So basically, while that is working, what is left is phase 6, which is the evaluation and testing. So we're going to do a latency test, some model metrics, and the ablation study. That's the README and all that to document everything we've seen. Oh my days, I don't know why it keeps doing this. I genuinely, and whatever it's doing, it keeps eating out away from the model's context window. I don't know why it keeps doing this. So I believe this is an issue worth knowing, because it's actually so annoying right now. I'm going to ask it again. So let's go on to phase 6, but let's commit phase 5 first. So let's work on phase 6. So basically, I'm almost at the limit of both models. I'm at 43 for GLM 5.2 and GLM 5 Turbo. That's I'm at 1%. So yeah, I believe there's a lot of pros and cons choosing ZCode, but for me, I believe it works very well. If I were to add a secondary help, it would probably be Claude Code or Cursor Pro. I'm not really sure, but either one of them, and I guess it will work fine. So for phase 6, so I guess that is it, and let us go. So I will show the result once I'm done, and yeah.
The next day.
Okay, we're back, and it's literally the next day. The model usage finished for both models while I was executing phase 6. It actually did well. It was done with the benchmarks, the model metrics, the ablation study. I think it's remaining the README. It hasn't done that, and some other little features that need to be added from phase 6. So I'll just ask GLM 5.2 on high to finish what it was supposed to do, and then update you guys, explain the project. So let's go. All right, so we're done with the project phenomenally. Phase 6 is complete, verified. So everything that was done was the package manager, the latency benchmark. It uses the slash predict endpoint, then end-to-end Kafka latency, the model metrics, the AE recall, ROC AUC, PR AUC on the PaySim test, the GNN ROC AUC on the fraud ring detection, the ablation study, and the README. So basically we can see the metrics right here that the GLM did. So the latency 4.8 milliseconds, and it is less than our target, which was 50 milliseconds. The latency end-to-end Kafka median 3.9 milliseconds. AE recall at the 95th percentile, that's 77.8%. AE ROC AUC 0.951, GNN test ROC AUC 0.652, that's well above the 0.5 chance, and combined recall, which is 99.76%. So the ablation study clearly demonstrates the core thesis. The two branches are complementary, not redundant. Combined recall strictly exceeds either branch alone, validating the dual model architecture. So we're done. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if this was helpful, because it helped the channel a lot. And I will make a separate video explaining this project very well in details for anyone who doesn't understand. And I'll catch you all in the next video.